Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About Lego. Tonight, we've got a fantastic guest, Rich from Intense Bricks. You've probably seen his content online on Instagram. Of course, we got Andrew in the house as well, and myself, Jason, with the Brick Stop. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to explore the castle world that you've created. Why don't you tell us just a quick intro about yourself a little bit, and then just like what got you into Lego maybe, and yeah, just give us a rundown real quick of the
where
stuff
did it start
talking about. Yeah, where did it all start? What's going on?
Yeah, so I grew up in New York, and my brother and I were big Lego fans. I mean, from the get-go, as old as I can remember. We had those old family sets they had in the late 70s, early 80s.
1 second. I'm sorry, I got to make a point here. North kid. He grew up in the North, just like I did, just like you did. All the North kids played with Lego. Very few kids from the South did. Okay, proceed.
Drawing that line. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Start out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That my brother was, town person. I was the castle person from the get-go. Growing up, I didn't like the yellow castle necessarily. Growing up, when the gray stuff hit, in '84, I was like, yeah, this is it. And
there you go. Yeah.
I had the bug from then on. I never stopped collecting castle. I never had a dark age.
I was just gonna ask. Yeah. So no dark age.
No, it's probably what allows me to have every single castle set produced except say for like 3 or 4, and I could easily get 3 of them, and it's just the big chess set that I'm missing.
For sure, yeah.
And I remember having it in my hands, and here in Atlanta one time, and I was like, it's too much money. Well, it was a big deal, but that's the big one I'm missing. So that's my
the one with the big box.
Yeah, the big box.
Well, I will say this: I bought the big box for $200, and it didn't come with anything but the box.
Just the box. Yeah. So you're probably looking at $1,200 with all the parts.
Yeah, it's a pricey thing.
It's so cool.
1,000 plus probably.
I remember looking at it in the catalog when it came out for like what, $250, $300 maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
What it was.
That thing is massive though.
Yeah, it's a lot of pieces in it, but I don't really miss it. But
is that the only one you don't have?
Say again?
Is that the only one you don't have?
No, I'm missing like 3 random little poly bags and little boxes. There's like one of the Fright Nights you guys were talking about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
and there's a couple of the little oddballs that I'm missing. I can get them pretty quickly, but
so one of these days, if you get the itch to get the complete full thing, you make it happen. But yeah. Cool. So no dark ages. Grew up. You were kind of on my boat with that. My brother was doing town and kind of more of the city space sort of stuff, technology side, and I was rigging ships to pirate and building castle walls with all my Lego stuff. So I totally relate to that side of the Lego world for sure.
Yeah, when Pirates came out, I did that too. When they came out, I was like, this is close to castle, kind of old, historical stuff, and
they go hand in glove in most places. A lot of people who are into one usually bleed into the other one a little bit here and there. So I think Andrew and I are kind of the same. We both love both of them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
But when I came back out of my second dark age, I started with The Hobbit. And I kind of have just basically focused on castle and acquiring the collectible Lego sets that I've wanted to collect. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've started back in 2014, but I've probably got $70,000 worth of Lego.
A lot.
Yeah, like very quick. So I've probably got more Lego now than a lot of collectors do in a few, 7-8 years.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. Like even during college, I didn't build much there, like mock wise, but I just kept accumulating the sets, and I kept hitting the Toys R Us BOGO sales, and of the little boxes I'd get like 8 of them or 10 of them, and I've still got a bunch of them sealed. They're my original purchases, so thankfully I've saved a lot of money over the years just having the original ones that I bought on discount, really. Clearance.
Definitely discount if you picked them up off a shelf.
Yeah, for real. Well, and those are a great place to just populate the castle world that you've built, right, with all the minifigs in those sets. So
oh yeah,
Yeah, because even the minifigs now, you're looking at some of those minifigs cost the price of the set when it was out. So
it's crazy. Yeah,
you know,
and especially like the peasants have always been important to me. I've always wanted the townspeople. Like we always had enough, well, almost enough knights and whatnot. But I always wanted to create towns, which is why my build here is focused a lot on the regular day life of the medieval people.
Which is awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's a big focal point of my castle build as well, is focusing on daily routine, actions, jobs, these kinds of things. So it's very exciting. We've got some comments. We want to say hello to everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Let's
now,
say hey
everyone, pay attention when we go through these slides, because I'm not going to be going back and forth to slides, and Rich has offered to hop up with his phone and move around and kind of show a little bit more detail on screen. So if you miss that, you miss it. If you don't, you don't. There's a lot to look at, and I want to get around to everything if we can. Jose is in here. Lego Den is here.
Hey guys.
Yeah, Lego Den. The South kids were playing in the swamps with Nerf guns. BC is kind of the north, I would say. Alternate Bricks is in here. Hello. Jose says that castle set starts at $800. And he says it's sealed for $1,800.
Get out of here.
It's sealed. I'll take it open.
Honestly, part it out and then get the minifigs or something.
Right?
Yeah.
Later.
Steve is in here. Good evening, Steve.
Hey, good to have you, Steve.
Don't blink.
Yeah, don't blink. Follow along with us. We're gonna go full speed. Buckle up. It's gonna be a wild castle ride.
Minifig Collector is in here. Welcome. Okay, let's jump into this first slide. I don't know what would be best if we maybe just work through the slides, have a bit of conversation about that, answer some questions, and then maybe you get up and do a once around the room kind of deal.
Yep,
that way you're not back and forth. I don't want to wear you out physically.
That's all good.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a view of his town from one angle. So, Rich, speak on this.
Yeah, so this is actually the fort town, right? So I have a separate, the town that's inside the walls, and so this is the town that's outside. I know, and I don't use any of the programs to mock things up first, or I don't even really draw them out. I kind of have an idea in my head, and I like it to be built organically. Kind of just like to flow with it. It's more fun that way. That's the way I like to build. I don't want it to make too much like a work project. I get that. Sometimes I tell people like it kind of builds itself as you work on it, Oh yeah. There's little things you're like, oh, I like that little move and do this. So I had a basic idea that I wanted to, the hill to roll down a little bit towards the water, obviously because of the port. But I wanted a robust port town. I wanted everything to be real tight and cramped, like a medieval town. I like a small scale, so everything is. Yeah. You see, my doors are just too wide. I want to pack a lot in there because, when you're building on a map, and I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of space to do this, but you run out of space real quick. And if I want to build more castles in this entire kingdom that I'm doing in my room, I got to kind of build tight and then work my way out. So.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's purposely real tight, and I always wanted a port. I had a port when I was a kid, and build my little Lego castle build in my attic back then in the 80s and early 90s. Just a little port, and I always wanted to build a big one. I've always wanted a big castle layout. So
so this is kind of you realizing some of those dreams we all had as kids when we had 2 castle sets and a little rowboat, and we would put things together. This is what we had in our heads, kind of.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You're fulfilling.
Oh yeah, this is my wildest dreams as a kid, right? Because I was the kid, and I didn't have a lot of pieces. I had a small little box of a couple extra pieces, and you'd make 1x2 bricks by using 1x2 plates, 3 of them.
Right.
And I never had enough bricks to really build anything, so you use plates and anything else you had, and just I feel fortunate
for sure. Yeah.
I feel fortunate with the space and the bricks that I have. But yeah, in this specifically, I wanted that church to be the focal point of this port town. So that's up on the highest point, and I purposely wanted to make it a little different color and just kind of draw your eyes to it when you're sitting here when you come and look at it.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely does that.
And probably my favorite part of this, all of my builds so far, is being able to just like get myself on eye level and look through these streets in some angles.
Oh, I know. And that's kind of what I was trying to capture with some of the slides here. That
and I'll try to do that when I bring the camera around, just to kind of get that level down there and just kind of see down the streets how it's just everything's just kind of cantilevered over the streets, and it's just real tight and robust. And I don't know, I really enjoy that. And everything's at funky angles. I
was going to say that. I love how you just like plopped them in there just as tight as you could next to each other, and like literally making one step a roof higher so that you can get it a little tighter.
There were some adjustments having to be made for that. Just like you said, the roof height test, I have to kick a building up just to get about over the other one's roof height. So it's fun, and it just makes it more interesting to look at, in my opinion. So.
Well, it looks lived in. It looks like it was remodeled and moved around, and people added and took away as they lived and built and around. And that's what, obviously that's exactly what you're going for, is that that functioning, bustling, tight alleyed city. This is where the pirate or the rogues would waylay people behind the taverns, and the heroes would jump down from the roofs. And it's got all the story elements just in the way you've laid this out. And I love that. Yeah.
And everything's in place, nothing's loose. So I want it to be if there's a jumper or something here or there, just to keep everything nice and locked in.
Totally. So it's not just that, which makes it more impressive because you actually secured everything at those wonky angles.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's fun to make those little roads that just curve slowly, right? And they meander, and they're maybe a little S, and these roads just grew organically back in the day, right? And then you had another road just kick out from there. So I'm trying still as I build out from the Coliseum now, just other roads that kind of just kick out from there out to a main road out to the the hillside and the rolling hills,
right?
Get to the country.
Well, before we move,
the cool thing about that is, the medieval town, the classic medieval town, was built like this. There was no structure to it at all. The only structure that they actually had was in the castle building. The rest of it was like, hey, I've got this piece of land right here. Let me put this building here. And they'd like go chop some trees down, start logging, and start laying the stone base. And they were at every different angle.
Yeah, the straightest line I've got is right there on the left-hand side on the port, right? Because it all faces the port. And that's my straightest line I have in either here or inside the castle.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah. Well, one thing I was going to mention before we move on is you brought up the church. And I think that's actually a cool element in the sense that when you start building on your own like this, you can build things that Lego just doesn't want to touch. And that's anything religious. So if you wanted to do crusaders, or you wanted to do churches or cathedrals, or you wanted to do, taverns or something a little bit more, not kid friendly, you can do that and make a more realistic world with, these different elements from the real world, bringing them in, whether it's fantasy or whatever it is you want to put in here. That's one of the beauties of building this type of thing yourself, is you can do that and reflect those things. And I think that's really cool. So I like that element you added there too.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple comments I want to address before we move on. Alternate candidate points out, love the density and angles, could stare at this for an eternity. That's kind of the way I feel about it too. Jose is asking 200,000 pieces plus.
Oof. Oh, easily, right?
Easily.
Yeah.
Jose, just for the record, man, I've got about 300,000 pieces in my castle alone, if not maybe more.
Yeah,
which probably takes up about the back side of it.
He's probably pushing 1 million bricks in this. Easy.
Yeah, I would say the keep is close to 100. Like just the keep of the castle, because this is a lot going on underneath.
Okay, so if there's 100 in the keep, then there's at least 200, maybe 3 in the mountain.
I was just going to say that mountain. You can see the pieces in
that
mountain.
Yeah, you can count them with your own eyes.
I can feel those.
My hands were getting tired.
For sure. Right? No, it looks great.
Yeah, more than that easily, General Tron says. Getting more in the million mark for sure. Andrew Alban is in.
Salute you, sir.
The only thing I ever counted was probably the Coliseum, and that was close to 20.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's a number that we can work off of, right?
Yep.
All right, guys. I have another slide here of the village. I I think he probably needs to explain this a little bit more because I just like this shot.
Yeah, this was fun. This is from one of the towers I took this. This was the from one of the towers back inside. I think it's in the keep actually, looking back towards the port town, over the river into the port town. And I just wanted that, that river bank to be, still with a bunch of trees and then just a whole bunch of buildings crammed. And I tried to make every building, using black, dark brown and reddish brown pretty much. I mean, there's a little bit of nougat here and there, but those are my three basic colors for the Tudor buildings. And then just using different brick colors for the Tudor colors, and then also for the bases, just to have pretty much not any building the same in the entire build. There might be one or two you might catch, but every one of them is unique.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love it. Well, yeah, and you get because with that variation on the roofs too, the black and the brown like that, you get, an idea that some of these are cedar shakes or old roofing material like lead. They did lead roofing back then a lot and different things. And so you could,
Slate.
but then slate. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And so you get these different material. It looks literally made from different materials. And then some of those materials may have been patched or whatever is going on there too. So you get that detail. It's just really great. I also want to point out really quick, I really love the tower with the red roof on it, and that's built up on the stone base. Is that part of the main castle?
That's over on the port right there. So that one on the right is
okay.
It's it was basically the like a merchant building.
I might be able to see it a little bit better in one of these other slides.
No, I do. I love, it is hard to comprehend this just looking at the photos, because look at that. You can even see the wall wrapping around along the base with the small little battlements. Like just that small detail, and imagining a minifigure too there. I know you had mentioned earlier before we started the live that this is missing a lot of the minifigs before you put them in, but that gives us a clearer view of some of the buildings. But yeah, man, I mean, just that tiny, this is the little step up with the arch. I'm just focusing on that one small area of this whole photo, and there's so much to just look at right there. So yeah,
I know.
This
is what happens when you collect Lego and you love castles so much. Is you can look at that one little corner that Jason is focused on and wonder. Your brain is instant wonder what's there. What am I not seeing?
Yeah, there's weaponry underneath those stairs there, and so
and then I see the arch under the yellow one here. Just so many cool details going on here.
I also important to me in every one of these builds, I wanted stairs or ladders. Everything has to connect. I didn't just want a big plate and then another floor, a plate up floor. So everything leads to something else, and the biggest thing for that was the keep when you come back on the other side. But every one of these buildings they're not all furnished, but I always say they're like a like a model home. They're or a home that's ready to purchase. They're all just they've got their flooring in. I've done the different tiles.
Okay. So it's more detailed inside than just a blank stud.
Oh yeah, they all have the wood floors, and every one of them has a fireplace. Those chimneys that come up are all in line with the actual chimneys that go down to the second floor and the first floor. It's my OCD makes me do that. So.
Wow. No, I mean, I'd be there with you, man. That's one of my biggest peeves with people doing stuff like this is they don't bother doing anything inside, or they use the interior of the model to connect pins and clips in some crazy way to make the outside or texture look just slightly more odd. And I just don't care about that. I'd rather see it. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. I waste pieces by doing it. Like you just look at like some of these buildings side by side. I'll waste pieces that I don't have many of. But I want that building to be its own structure, so I don't just waste it by using lime green or whatever
I love it, man. No, that's you're right up my alley with this stuff right here for sure.
Now the mountain's a different story underneath there,
Well,
we'll get
but
to
the buildings were.
We'll get to that.
We will get to that. Let's see here. We have a couple comments. Lego Den jumping the gun. Who lives in the mountains? We're gonna get to that. Just
Forest
I have a little time. General Trons Bricks says makes you want to be a minifigure and wander in there all.
Yeah. It was
that would be cool, huh? Get a little.
It would be fun to be scaled down.
Scaled down. Wow.
Yeah, that would like walk around through it. So in this next slide, we've got the corner, an eye level of the corner of the port area, port town, you were calling it.
Yep. Yeah. So just a little, and this was before I put, I tiled out the rest of this water here. But yeah, just a little bit of wave action, and then the docks there. Again, I wanted to keep it kind of small scale down, and there's just some variation in the buildings. There's all kinds of stuff inside that little shack looking thing there. Just a whole bunch of crates piled up, and and whatnot, just full of supplies and things that are coming in and out. And those little.
It's like a warehouse, kind of. Yeah.
That probably is the correct term. Yeah.
It looks exactly like what you meant it to. That, like, as soon as you see it with the crane out front and the boxes next to it, it's like, okay, that's where they're processing, what comes in on the ships and stuff. I like the purpose here. Like, there's lots of purpose. Yeah.
And I never really researched this part of it, but I took a guess at it. I have different factions here who are aligned with the Lion Knights, or at least aren't enemies. Like, you'll see like the crown, the pink crowns there to the right. You see their flag hanging. Everyone has their own little merchant area. You'll see the different flags based on what they trade. So I kind of had to come up with an idea of what this group brings in. So that pink group, for example, the gold crown, they're a little bit, their building's a little nicer. There's a little better stuff, and some of the other factions are a little poor, and they have some different things they bring in.
Dude, that's great. The backstory is what makes it like that just adds a whole nother, because some people, I love that, because some people would maybe put all this time and effort into just building something out of their head and whatever it is, and that'd be awesome. But the fact that you've even if you haven't like necessarily written things down or whatever, you still have this idea of the purpose behind these buildings, these factions. You got, I love that you have some of them wealthier, so their buildings look a little nicer, and some of them are more, struggling factions or whatever it is. That's fantastic. That people, that's what we like to hear, man. That's awesome. The story is there, so that's really cool. And
on the right hand side there, in that blue building in the background, you see that little fish shield is the one from the Lord of the Rings. And I kind of use their what was it, their town, Lake Town. And some of their Rohan soldiers, and I use them for that area, and they have fish, obviously, with the fish logo. So one of the ships that's in the port in some, when I went and added all that, they're just bringing their fish in and some other things.
I assume you have a bunch of little fish in those crates and barrels.
I do, yes.
Perfect.
I mean, you have to have all the details, Jason.
Well, I wouldn't put it past him, so I appreciate it.
Lego Den here is pointing out that he likes the blue base for the water. Gives it that classic feel.
Well, even with the tile over it, I still think it has a classic feel to it.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Of course, I didn't do that with mine, but I did my water on my castle the same as the tree house. The idea is tree house.
Yep.
Where there's like the plate and then the clear over top to give it that depth.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got here another comment. Alternate candidate. The more I see and hear, the more impressive. So much detail to every component, all adding to an overall scene, allowing to be amazed at any distance from a model. Yeah, this thing is wild.
Because
it's over the top.
Here's the reality of it. If you just take this one with this one shot, with how many? 2, 4, 6, 8 buildings, the docks, and this. I've seen people
in the background.
That's their. Well, I'm just talking about this front piece of this photo here. I've seen people, and no shade on anybody who's only doing those things, but that's their whole mock. They're proud to present that one thing about that size, and this is just one shot of one part of one of the little corners of this thing. So it's fantastic, man.
Well, I remember growing up, my brother had his big town layout, and growing up, you've always seen the big cities and all this, and I've always been diehard castle, and I've always wanted a castle version of like that. So this is my my castle town. So
that's
perfect.
Cool. Lego Den with a question: any kind of sewer system or catacombs built in anywhere?
I don't have sewer systems, but I do have catacombs under that you'll never see them either based on where it is. But that tan church has catacombs under it with a tunnel.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah,
building the details that you can't see. That's how an AFOL does it.
And that's there. There's a lot more in the keep that you'll never even get to over on that side as well.
That's awesome.
It's just like a real city. It gets built on top of the old stuff.
This next shot I have is the opposite corner. So we're looking at the the port town. Let's say this is the north corner. We're going to look at the south corner. So here's
Very
the opposite point of that.
Yeah.
And as you can see, he's got a whole bunch of minifigs in here. There's a little, I don't know, a bell tower, a watchtower.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There on the corner.
Yep. Yeah. Watchtower on the corner. And I wanted that to be a real jagged mount, rocky outcrop.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another little tower there, a little watchtower, the shorter one for the actual port. And then, all the trade ships. And I wanted so many people in the port, just make it look bustling.
Oh yeah, you got to, man. You got to throw minifig on top of minifig in there.
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
Dude, man, one of these days I'm building something like this.
I'm
getting inspired.
Good.
This is crazy.
It is. It's pretty.
I love
pretty
this
nuts.
so much, dude. Like, I don't think you understand.
Lego Den with an exilable comment.
I love these. Yep.
Lego whispers, "Go City Town into the dungeon." I tell you.
And I love so many of the other factions, and I know I'm a completist, and I know if I get to something else, I'll want everything of that too. So I know for my own sanity and budget, just stick to this. This is expensive enough.
I know that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm at, Rich.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I love Star Wars, but I just the amount of things they put out, I just
yeah. Well, Harry Potter for me too. It's like I might have to just call it on that because it's.
I already called it on Harry Potter.
Did you? Okay. I was waiting. Yeah, maybe I got to be there too.
There's no way. There's no way I can dedicate $2,000 or $3,000 a year to Harry Potter.
Fat Daddy Bricks, welcome. I don't know. Has he been in here before? I love that.
I don't know. We have a lot of people that don't comment.
That's awesome. They're not all Lego. They're 98% Lego. Probably the 2% is K-Town bricks.
Which he prints on authentic Lego parts.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, so it's authentic Lego parts. They're just his beautiful printing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, shout out K-Town.
Comparable to Lego. Shout out to K-Town. We do that every video.
Every video we're talking about something.
K-Town is awesome. Oh, man.
He's the best.
Yeah, you realize he's only like an hour and a half from me, right?
Yeah, he's right near you. Yep.
Yeah. We had lunch one time.
I had one time with one of the shows. Actually at Atlanta BrickCon last year.
Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah, he's a cool dude.
He's awesome.
He's busy and he doesn't have much free time, but he's a good dude.
Makes an excellent product.
Yeah.
Oh,
right, one of the best products. Yeah.
Here is just a dynamic shot here of the castle looking down. And we will all see more of this castle when Rich gets up and does a walk around with his camera. Yep. But just the level of diversity in the heights, and it's like the sporadic, hey, let's have a little hall come out this way, or it's very dynamic. Yeah, and it captures the attention for sure.
I love I wanted variety in my the towers. I love a good cityscape in real life, like skylines, and the variety of towers and the way they look. And this was important to me to kind of make it interesting to the eye from every angle, and to have things just popping up out of nowhere. And I had some late additions. That one on the left, all the way on the left, with the little tower popping out of the top. That was a late one, and then almost dead center, you have some of those new curved roof pieces with a good amount of gold. Yeah, that one was, I wanted just something different, and that's my tallest tower, comes out of the center.
Nice.
Yeah, just a lot of variety.
I see a hinged wall panel. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so everything has stairs, everything is accessible, and that's just one of the access points for that big tower. And of course I make the little cantilevered portion, the little roof portion, come out so I can grab it.
For sure, yeah.
That's
nothing worse than closing the panel and not being able to grab it.
Right.
So yeah, so it's you can get to everything. There's a big wall, and I'll show it around when we get to the inside. That is one of my more detailed areas, is a war room on that big tower to the right, lower right. So
yeah, it's very cool. Alternate candidate said everyone hit the like button. This walkthrough is more than worth a like.
Yeah.
That's right.
if you guys are watching, you enjoy the content, give Intense Bricks a like. Obviously, give our channel a like. We appreciate it, man. Hit that like button while we're here. So
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Jose's asking, do they get up there by ladders?
Yeah, so some of them. So the smaller towers are up by ladders, and then the big one on the right, that is a stairwell that gets up there.
General Tron says exactly how an awesome mock should be. Right, I agree.
Yeah, it sounds like we're getting a lot of like-minded people in this live stream, which is fantastic. I mean, that's kind of our crew. You know, we all kind of we're all kind of on the same wavelength a little bit. So you're right there with us, Rich.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's take a look at the corner of this stadium thing. He's recently added this.
Yeah,
this has been within the last couple months.
Yeah, the last 2 months. I dropped it once and then had to repair it one night. But yeah, so this is my in my head lore. It's an old coliseum that was around from the Roman ages, and they're kind of using it now as just again another fighting pit.
Yeah. Maybe rebuilt it a little bit.
Yeah, a little update.
I like
I mean, that'd be a cool thing to have set up for a joust.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right now there's it's a kind of a fighting pit, and there's a fight going on in there, and there's probably 6-7 fights going on, and then off to the side I'm going to have an archery contest, and then maybe a little dirty jousting area. So
nice. Yeah, it looks good. So I've got another shot of this. And this is just an off in the distance shot, where you can see like a couple of peasants walking through the woods on the path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I also wanted to show this photo here, the smaller one in the left corner, of kind of like how you're building these by chunk, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, all modular. The idea in the beginning was I could take this to a show, but I don't think I would at this point.
You'd have to have an empty van and an empty trailer, I would think, to carry it safely.
Yeah, it's
piece by piece. And isn't your room upstairs?
It is. Yeah, it's up on the second floor.
Oh, dang. You'd have to get like a pulley system and like a couple of winch guys outside.
I don't know, man. I mean, it'd be so, dude, I've seen some crazy stuff brought to conventions. I mean, I know you'd have to have like 5 or 6 people to help you do it, but it would be amazing. That'd be an event in its own right.
For sure.
I've had some volunteers from my lug thing.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe one day. Hey, I like what we got going on here on the smaller picture on the left. Is that like a bog or a small lake, or what are we looking at there?
So there's so that was before I put a bunch of those trees in. So on the left hand side with that dark green patches I think you're talking about. That became forest. I did fill that in, but there is a little marshy area just to the right of that where the trees are in there.
Okay.
It's not quite a creek or anything like that, but it's kind of marshy and it leads into the cropland.
Perfect.
Kind of
I love it. Okay, that's cool. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love all the little
He's making modifications as he moves through.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, no, you got to. I mean, it's a living thing,
Yeah, I hadn't gotten around to making the 200 or so pine trees I needed for this area.
Yeah, I love the little pine trees. These are great.
Oh,
they are good.
Yeah.
If you get lucky and find those on BrickLink for cheap, man, you can definitely.
Oh yeah.
Definitely make some cool trees.
Question. Just a logistical question. Do you only purchase from BrickLink, or do you buy much from the Lego Pick a Brick online, or is it brick walls? Like, or you do everything?
All the above. Yeah. So I do. Obviously, Pick a Brick walls are like for most of the time are the best deals you're going to get.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if I, obviously foliage, I raid. I mean, I leave some for other people, but
sure.
I get cups worth, and I'll show you what my parts wall looks like here. I like foliage, and BrickLink I do it for on a specific project, need parts, and then online PAB for sure I do as well for new parts that come out. And
yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, when I was down there at the Lego store, I picked up. They had the light purple leaf.
Oh yeah,
yep.
Yeah, I got a couple of cups of those, the big cups. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but I'm like you. I was like, "That's a leaf piece. I can use it somehow, some way, someday."
Elves, maybe. I don't know. But
yeah, something.
Fantasy area.
So the last slide that I'm going to show before you can start doing a walk around is this massive mountain, which, as I was explaining to Rich when we jumped in here prior to the video, was why I started following him on Instagram. Is I saw him start this mountain, and he was like, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 blocks high total at the time. And it's just kind of, he just kept going. And I didn't know it was going to end up like this.
I don't think I knew it was going to end up like this either, to be honest.
This thing's crazy.
Yeah, it's
crazy good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The most important thing to me was just to get it higher than any of the towers on the castle.
Sure.
That was key. So when I got about halfway, probably about 3/4 of the way it is now, I thought that was going to be the top, and I had to redo it because it just looked to me dumb compared to the towers. So I wanted to at least block the castle's view to anything that might be on the other side of the mountain, which there will be.
I see.
Yeah, so Rich, and a really good shot here, I think, with your phone, like when we switch over and do that, would be from like the river between the castle and the port town, looking back at the mountain, because that thing, it's just overwhelming. I mean, these pictures don't do it justice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's this thing's crazy.
Here, let me pop him up. Are you on there, Rich?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Okay, here, let's
there we go.
take a look here at this thing. Holy moly.
Yeah, so from the port town, again, this was the angle we had seen originally in that first shot. Now with all people in it, and then the other angle that we had taken, and then that's looking up the river, to the mountain.
Oh wow, yeah. See, you don't. Okay, from those photos, you just can't tell the scale, and that river just going through the center there is incredible.
Yeah,
it's so cool. Yeah, you couldn't really tell that it was cut like that and down the center of the build until you got this up here. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
So
wow.
that mountain will keep kicking that way, in the line with the river, as the glacier had cut it, so they'll run parallel to each other.
Sure. Nice. And you said, are you planning to build more behind that mountain?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know where you want me to start, but you just tell me.
Yeah, I mean, just wherever you want, dude.
Just watching the video is amazing.
I'll take you over there, kind of to see what we're working with on this side. So this is what the innards of the mountain look like.
Got it.
I've gotten a lot more efficient with my pieces as I've built more. But yeah, there will be. This is going to be a nice little area here, just off the mountain, meadow of sorts, maybe a little lake. And originally, I was going to put the forestman back here, but I think it's going to be the wolf pack instead. I've got a mock of their little of their built. So this is kind of the start of the terrain coming down the backside now.
I see that. Yeah.
But it'll be green, lush, all that. But yeah, popping over the top, I really wanted there to be, some melted, you see the snow coming off the mountain.
Yeah,
in there. But there's a little sneaky cave in here. So the question was asked earlier, who lives up on the mountain? So in there, and there's a little access point here. It'll be the snow guardians.
Oh, okay.
Will be up here, and this will be their little base of operations.
I love it.
In there, but I'll try to get you kind of like an overview. The mountain does kind of get in the way, but it is taller than everything else.
Perfect. That's great.
But yeah,
I love the woods going up to the mountain and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you plan to throw in any kind of bridge or little trails or minifigs in here? Or are you going to kind of leave it as untamed wilderness?
Yeah, so there is right in here. There's a sneaky little cave system. Right.
Okay.
Where are we? Right here. And that's
I see that. Yep.
There's a whole walkway that goes in behind the waterfall, and it pops up here on the other side. So there's sneaky little trails in places. So there might be some kind of little like rope bridge or something built at some point here.
Have you added much wildlife yet, or is that something to come?
There's no wildlife yet.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Oh man, that's like $300 or $400 right there, adding wildlife.
I'm set up pretty well, but yeah, I probably don't have enough to fill it all in. And these trees will eventually be filled. I always say, like, this wasn't a fire that ran through here. At the time I had run out of these pieces. I could fill it in now. So I'll fill in the rest of these trees here and get that done with. But then you have the little part around the actual castle.
Wow. Yeah. I love the amount of water that's in this world. And the way that it's cut through the landscape. like I had mentioned to you earlier, you have a good grasp of how terrain in real life looks, and you've cut your landscape into those areas, and using water as a dynamic way to do that is really a clever way to make that happen.
Thank you.
So I really, really like that. I like how you have the different colored dirt and mud on the banks of the river and cut down into different areas. Clearly it's like either loam or dead leaves around some of these trees and banks and stuff like that. Yeah, it's fantastic. There's just so much to appreciate about just the terrain, not to mention all of the buildings. Oh, you have a cathedral or a church inside the castle too.
Inside, yeah. So this is the main one. Inside here is there's a little obelisk inside the church garden.
Wow. And the what types of trees? I'm blanking.
Those are birch right there.
That's what, yeah. I love those.
And a little cemetery here.
Yeah. Show us. Yeah, keep inside the castle for a little bit. Show us a little bit more of this stuff going on.
Yep. Yeah. So a little, people taking care of the cemetery. Outside of that, there's a little pathway that goes around back there to the garden.
Yep. Hey, fantastic use of the Technic gear for the window. That's insane.
Thank you.
It's perfect.
Yeah, those are great. I've gotten a few more. I have a few other ideas for some other things. I really like the way that looks.
Yeah,
it does look good. Hey, we got a couple of comments. Can I just ask you these questions?
Yeah, fire away.
A lot of people are just saying so awesome. General Tron is saying Duplo and basics for mass height. Yes,
absolutely.
Lego Den is mentioning dragons. He wants to see dragons. Do you have any dragons to show him?
I have plenty of dragons.
They're just not in the build.
Just not in the build. Yeah.
Oh, they're hanging out back here.
There's your dragons.
There's the dragons.
There's your dragon fix.
And Minifig Collector was wanting to know, how many factions do you have in the layout? Is it all of them, or?
I'm going to try to get every one of them, whether they have their own castle somewhere out in the Netherlands, or if they're trading in here at the port. I really want to try to get all of them in here.
Well, and that's a fun thing you can do too, because you had mentioned the Snow Guardians. Probably not a huge build, but they'll be posted up there in the in the mountain. You can do a little tent of one small faction right camping in the woods, and that's all you have. But that's enough to represent them in the build.
Yeah, they're represented.
Exactly.
I do want every one of them in here. So like the tournament night CMF, he's doing his tournament thing over in the Coliseum.
Totally.
Yeah, you'll have to show us that. Let's go through the castle terrain real quick there, Rich.
Okay. Inside.
Yeah, inside the castle, and then we'll go around the port, and then maybe get over there towards the Coliseum, and then back to the mountain.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, let's mention Retro Space Coats is in the house. Evening all. Sorry I'm late. $3 donation. Appreciate it, my friend. We do have super chats for anyone who wants to donate to the stream. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Alternate candidate, thank you for building this, and thank you again for showing this amazing build. Thanks for taking time out of your evening, Rich, for us.
Absolutely.
Retro's loving the church. Octavian, such a great castle. Love the mountains. Retro, check this out. It's crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's do a walkthrough so we can look down into the castle a little bit, and you can show a little bit of the back where you got it cut through.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. There's the pie slice right there. So these I do have fully furnished. This was a good spot for me to use my medieval market.
Yeah.
Put them in there, and then the forestmen have their own little hideout here, recruitment area.
It's a forestman tavern.
That's a forestman tavern. Yeah, you see they have their treasure up in the attic, and just a whole bunch of. Let's get down here if we can on the.
Oh, that's beautiful! Look at that.
I love it. Yeah, that's what we wanted to see right there.
That's alley views.
Yeah, the alley views are fun. Little flags there for the entertainment as people. That guy was tough to get in there. People making a little pea soup or something.
Yeah, suspicious stew.
Yeah, some ornamental things. Little alleyway there.
It's nice to see. Here's an interesting thing. It's nice
Look
to see
how dark that alley is.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah, I know. It's like step into the shadow a little bit more.
So here's something I thought about before while we're looking at all this. It's nice to see a Lego collection fully geared towards one purpose, right? So you have parts from Star Wars. You've got the little acorn sign. That's not a castle piece. You got all these different things, the Technic gears. I see the utilization of almost every piece on multiple different themes and factions being utilized into this castle world, and I really like that. I think that's a really cool thing to see done. And in my head, I do that all the time with things that I see. I just haven't been able to implement it in this way on this scale yet, but it's good to see that being done here. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like
We've got a couple of questions. I'm sorry.
You okay?
Dude, yes, the Star Wars piece right there.
Correct.
Octavian is asking, is that the original medieval village build, or did you modify it a little bit?
It's the original one. Yeah, I didn't want to tweak that at all. I just basically threw some extra furniture in there and left it be. I love that.
Yeah, cool. I love it. And of course, being late, Retro doesn't know anything about the mountain, but he's saying, isn't there a secret valley towards the top of the mountain? Wouldn't it be cool to put the Wolfpack territory up there?
That was the original plan.
Yeah, the Wolfpack, he's moving it towards the back. We'll get back around to it. Stick around. And then Minifig Collector, do you have gallows set up anywhere?
Not yet.
Oh, man, you got to have those, bud.
Oh, I know.
And you got to have somebody hanging, too.
You got to have the stocks.
I will. I think I was going to do it out on the port, and then I changed my mind. So it might be out by the archery range. We'll see. We'll see where we put it.
Perfect. So it's to come. So we can look forward to some public executions later.
Oh, for sure.
Fantastic. The losers of the fight maybe in the arena. No place for weak people in this world.
Doesn't that go to the bridge that goes over to the port town?
It does, yeah.
Ooh, what hairpiece is that? That's a cool hairpiece.
That is it's one of the newer pieces.
Lego Friends.
It's a Friends because of the material. Yep, for sure.
Well, that's, again, going back to my original statement about utilizing everything from everywhere to really just create one purposeful build. That's one thing that, Lego Friends has some of the coolest hair pieces.
Oh, Friends, they're awesome.
Lego Den is asking, where's the king?
Where did I put the king? Oh, the king is over in the Coliseum right now.
Cool. We'll see him in a minute, Lego Den.
Yeah. The queen is not with him. There's a story there.
I like the little archery range down there. That's cool.
It's a little competition. Everybody, all their buds are watching them.
Oh, I have a question. Did you decide, is it the Red Lion Knights from Kingdoms as your main faction to own the castle and the arena? Was that because they're your favorite faction, or was that you had the most of those guys when you started?
They were my favorite of the Lion factions. I love that shield.
It's a phenomenal shield.
Oh, it's so great. And then they killed me when they came out with the new one and they used the old one. I was like, oh, now I'm going to have a million of these guys.
See, I love the old ones, but I love the red one too. They're all good. Yeah. Okay, so that's your favorite faction.
Oh, that shield, that lion looks so good.
Dude, it is nice.
My shield that I produced for that looks really good too.
In this one?
There it is.
Yeah, it's like almost identical, dude.
That's impressive. That's real nice, dude. Yeah, I like it.
Really good.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, so down in here, there's a little creepy area here. There's dungeon down there, and then there's the treasure room above it, and then there's the throne room. You can kind of see inside the window.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll be a disaster if I try to do this with the phone in my hand.
No,
I love those windows in there.
I never knew about those windows.
I didn't know about them until just now. Where they come from?
I forget. I'll let you know.
I'm trying to remember.
I'll put a note. I forget off the top of my head. I've got a couple more, but yeah, they're fantastic.
They are.
Yeah,
those are phenomenal.
They have little ones too, but they're very expensive. The smaller ones.
Huh. Dang.
It's someone in the comments might be able to find them.
Yeah.
Somebody go look.
Yeah,
get on it, guys. What are you
They're
doing?
on my favorites on Bricklink.
Where are you at, Jose?
So yeah, there's all kinds of little stories here with the royals, and of course I have my lions at the foot.
Got lion statues in there.
I see those. Good. Those are great. I really like that. Ooh, I like the ivy going up the side there too.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool.
Love the color of all the roofs.
Yeah,
here we go.
Weathered.
The armory.
The armory that goes all the way underneath. There's the food stores and then the kitchen. People walking down the halls. Those halls go all the way back. And there's the great room.
That's cool.
Oh right, yeah, the musicians up there. That looks great.
Mm-hmm. And there's the queen. Again, she's not with. They have a toast going on.
Very nice.
And some royals walking about. And then in here, so this was the war room I was talking about earlier. There's a mini scale version of the castle with the mountain.
That's awesome.
And the port town over there.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, it's good. Good stuff.
Everybody's walking up to meet them in the meeting. There's a stairwell back there.
Very cool. Do you have any guys sporting the Doctor Strange cape?
I do. Trying to think. They're in the Coliseum for sure. Oh, I got a bunch of those poly bags just for that when they're on.
Yeah, dude, it's a great piece.
It is a great piece.
Like a perfect nobleman's cape.
Yep. Yeah.
Octavian said those musicians in the top balcony perfect for the red wedding.
Uh-oh.
Someone else had mentioned that once before about the red wedding in that room with all that going on. Yeah, I should put crossbows on the floor right behind them, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Retro pointed out, love the rigid 2x2 round bricks as columns. You use those, or I think around over on the other side. The ones with the lines on them.
Oh yeah. Yep. These.
Yeah. Those
like
do look good.
I use them in this tower.
This gives it a nice variation.
Yeah. Nice texture.
Steve says there needs to be a minifig swinging from the chandelier.
That's funny.
And General Tron's Brick said the windows comes from the Arendelle Castle Village set. Frozen.
Oh.
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that now.
Yeah. They're not that expensive either. If I'm
that's looking like I gotta pick me up like 30 or 40 of them.
They're so good. And again, they have those like the windows that are like 3 tall. They have versions that with those too, but they're so expensive. And nobody's got quantity of any kind. So yeah, I'll run through this pretty fast since we touch on the ports.
Yes, we've already seen some of this, but it's just nice to see it over the top. I mean, just holy crap, man! You could get lost in that village.
I'll try to. So this is my shipyard. There's an intent. I'm going to make a frame of a ship sitting here that's being built, but I've kind of got all the supplies there for now for them. Sitting there, but that's what that is, and they could slide it out to the water.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the ship berth.
Yep.
Yeah, good. Who said that was from Arendelle, by the way? Those windows.
Octavian, I think.
Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, it comes with that set comes with one of those. That set comes with a fantastic fishmonger's sign.
It was General Tron Brick. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Yeah, guys, look it up when you're done with this. I almost picked this set up, but it wasn't for that window. It was for the dark blue fishmonger's sign. Yeah, take a look at that. That would go really well in your village. It's a really cool piece, but you can probably get it for cheaper than buying the whole set on Bricklink. But yeah, anyway, a lot of good parts on that set. You can get it for $100.
So then this started out the farmland, the grapes.
Oh, dude, yes, I love the grapes. So you got the whole grapevines and everything over there.
He's mashing those things.
Stomping them. Yep.
You got carrots.
This is cool. I like to see the farming part of this. This is really cool.
That's always it's always fun to build that kind of stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
so
the apple orchards, the cornfields. Look at this.
Yeah, and again, I wanted on angles. I didn't want everything to just be squares.
Yeah,
a little bit more natural.
Yeah. And here's that marshy.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you did add some marshland kind of into it. I like that. Yeah, that works.
And its natural flow is to make it
dirty creek.
Dirty creek, yeah, and then it natural flows into the which makes this such good land for
for crops.
It's fertile land. I like that.
Hey, Rich, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
On the corn, have you considered buying the corn piece that came out?
I did. I was hoping it would show up either in lug bulk or on pick a brick for a more affordable price, but the price was just too much for me.
Yeah, it's kind of salty.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think they're going to make it anymore. Huh?
You could still get, you could potentially get 5 or 6 of them and put them in the barrels next to it, like
That's
they're
true.
harvesting it.
Yeah.
And it would still have that cool aesthetic. I
was
thought it was still being produced, though.
It probably is. That set is going away, though, and that it was on clearance at Walmart's for a while, but I was waiting for it to hit the $20 mark before I pulled the trigger.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if it's going to come out. I thought it came out in more than one set, but maybe it's only in that farm one right now.
Look at that. You can like look all the way down this like road.
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite views. If I had like a little that could fly in there, it would just keep meandering and
yeah.
keeps going.
That'd be awesome. Oh, there's the church. Yeah, I like that. So that's back behind it. Yep. Okay. Little bit of a courtyard, but it's pretty packed in there.
It is. It is. The catacombs are down and under there. You can almost kind of see them.
Whoa! Is that a staircase going down there?
It's a dirt staircase, kind of.
Okay.
And there's
That's cool.
There's a door under there.
That's actually kind of scary.
It is kind of creepy. Yeah. It's dark.
That's
Very nice.
Whoops.
This was a little. This was fun to kind of get this land to contour into a coliseum that was just kind of going to get plopped in here. So, so that land kind of just abuts.
It's very nice.
There, and then
let's get a shot of the inside there. Oh my God, it's filled with people too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Doctor Strange is in here somewhere. He might be in here twice.
The cape?
Yeah, the cape. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So they're fighting down in the bottom there. Perfect.
Man, you could throw some bears in there.
Ankle
bears.
Good Lord.
There's a lion.
Oh, there's a lion down there. I see him. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
They're reliving or they're reviving the Roman games.
So that was Princess Storm. That's supposed to be that character in the middle.
Yep. And there she is. Yeah. She's an iconic character.
Yep. I wanted her to get her due. But yeah, there's a dwarf jumping at someone else.
Okay. Let's see the canopy. I'd like to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah,
okay,
the canopy is kind of cool. How it just kind of comes out just a little bit.
Yeah. That took me a while to kind of figure out how I wanted to do that. I looked at capes and you know how it goes, all the cloth pieces that they have, and I thought, let me just do it brick built.
Yeah, Prince of Persia has a great one. If you want to spend, $600 for doing the whole thing, you can eat 30 of them.
I said the king was here, but that's not the queen. That's with him over here.
That's his mistress.
That's right. So.
I mean, that just goes hand in glove with the time. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty standard.
And then they got all the lion knight shields are represented there.
I see that. I was good. Yeah, I just noticed that. I love it. So you got each one.
Yep. And the only one that's not there is it's on the outside.
Oh, okay.
The new one for the red and blue. I had the spacing didn't work to get them all in there. So
right. Yeah. We got the banners hanging down from that.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
Thank you. Yeah. So I wanted the crowd to be nice and full, a little bit of energy in there, and just a little dirt area.
And then there we see the edge of the build ready for the next
module. Yeah,
next chunk to go in.
Which is not this one.
So that's not going to go there.
No, yeah, this will be somewhere far off. This is going to be.
Okay.
This is the Fright Nights. Kind of Dracula's castle I'm building here. You can see the little blood flowing down.
Very cool.
That's a nice touch.
Wow. It'll be very barren, very dry.
So maybe do you think you'll revive the black trees from Classic Castle to surround that?
Yeah, I think there's going to be some black stuff and some
raggly trees. Yeah. Very cool. So yeah, I noticed no dragons. You have a dwarf. But other than that, I'm not seeing too much influence in any type of fantasy. Is that something you're kind of trying to ground this more in a medieval world of, yesteryear as opposed to maybe something that's mixed in with a fantasy style.
Yeah, there'll be some fantasy. Like I have my elves.
Okay.
They'll be in here. That's my elven army.
Got it. So you'll integrate some elements of maybe high fantasy of some sort.
Yeah, they'll for sure be in there. And I've
Not
got
gonna be
my
full of
orcs and skeletons.
Sure. Okay. Got
It'll
it.
be the generic evil horde attacking.
Perfect. Okay. I like it. Yeah.
Let's get a good view of that mountain over there, Rich.
I love it, dude.
That thing is insane.
It's perfect.
It creates a nice backdrop if you're down in like minifig level.
Yeah. So are you concerned that you're running out of room?
I have, a little bit, but there's not a whole lot of concern. I do have a basement, which is unfinished and ready to roll.
Got it.
So,
well, you've got a lot to work on before you're actually out of room.
Oh yeah,
Nice
at least a couple more years anyway.
Yeah, I've got a good bit. I got another table I could fit here. You could see the number of modules, and
sure,
a couple of them here are going to be the mountain, and they take a lot of time. So
got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's not you're not you're not in any rush.
No, we're good. We've, like you said, we probably got another 2 years of build here. So
perfect. Wow. Do we have any more comments you wanted to pull up, Andrew?
Octavian said, I like the Coliseum, but it seems a bit too big next to the castle city. Not really. I don't think so.
Yeah, this was tough. Getting that scale right was important to me, and I tried. It's pretty close to what I wanted. It did get a little bigger as I was building it, but
I mean, you have to have it big enough to where it looks like it's something.
Yeah.
Well, and I think your backstory also, works with it well, because you said it could potentially have been there before as a ruined structure they rebuilt, and so they just used the footprint of the original building, which was probably quite grand. So, I think it works. You can work it into the lore to make it work. I didn't necessarily think it was too big. It is a large structure, though. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Very
There's
nice.
the river, coming down through the rocks here. I like the snow, how it melts down into the non-snowy area. The little snow on the tops of those trees.
Yep, and there's a little gap between the olive greens. They'll stop, and then there's that dead air space, and then you get to the snow.
Yes, yeah, I see that. Yeah, where it's maybe too cold for that moss or whatever that is that's growing up on the stone.
Too high elevation, and just won't grow that high.
No, I really appreciate the detail you put into the terrain. It's top notch.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Rich, do you want to just give us a brief walk around your room? And then we'll cut back off of your full screen there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I call this like my museum side. So this is mostly my older stuff. So so I even have my first ever castle set here. So this is my knight's castle.
Very nice.
When I was 6 years old, got that in Christmas of '84. So those are all my original sets. Except that yellow castle I got just about a year ago.
Very cool. Yeah.
But so they're just you have some of the original Bricklink designer program castle up here, Lowenstein. And you have
I remember. Oh, you got the expansion, or do you have the expansion too?
Yeah, I have the expansion on the back.
Very cool. Yeah, I always wanted to get that. I didn't.
Oh, so cool. I built that during COVID with the expansion portion.
Very nice. Yeah, I have the original castle. I just don't have that expansion part. But I mean, it doesn't look like it's made of too many complicated bricks.
No. Yeah, it's not
Pretty
bad.
Basic.
Yeah,
it's very nice. Yeah.
So besides my original, the originals, and then I don't know which one's which off the top of my head. And then the other one's the what they call it, the
Legend.
Legend. Thank you.
Yeah. Very cool. So you got both of those. That's nice.
Yep. Black Falcon army. The door. All my armies are here. There's more Black Falcons here. There's more sitting in bins.
Will you integrate some of these figures into the landscape eventually?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like you'll see some holes and gaps in some of these, or they're people I've taken out and put in already.
Got it.
They'll definitely get in. Cool. These are those Lord of the Rings ones that I used for that faction in the trade.
I like it. more tournament nights. Cool to see those guys represented. Yeah.
These are the guys getting the new home here soon.
Very nice.
So some Lord of the Rings down here. Some of the newer sets.
Yeah.
The beautiful medieval blacksmith.
I like how you've got all these built and got most of the minifigs in them, not to mention armies next to them, and you have the table that's full of everything.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say that, Jason. Outstanding amount of minifigs.
I really hope they get to see a Dragon Master fig in Shields here soon. With the Magisto. So.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to see those updated. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
These were cool too. I really like those.
Yeah, a lot of people like those. I'm not a huge fan of that Dragon Shield. It's not my favorite one. Brad, though, he loves them. He's a guy we see some content with. But they're cool. I'm not as big a fan of those ones. But
yeah, it's just nice because they were green. There's something different.
That's fair. Yeah, taking it another direction is always cool to see.
Yeah, I was never a fan of these Jelly Bean Knights.
No, not too much. Although there is a shield they produced, which is a squared off kind of oval shield with a blue and white stripe across it.
Oh, that one, yeah.
I really do like that shield. Yeah.
And probably my favorite of all time now. I love that thing.
A Lion Knight's Castle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just parts.
There's the pad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Parts wall. Yeah.
Okay, you're stocked up pretty well then. So
I'm fortunate enough to work in the airline industry, so I get over to Europe every so often. So I will get to Goonsburg and get to the factory store over there and kind of load up with that candy store.
Definitely, that's cool.
So that's all my parts here. A few more.
Good. Yeah. So what do we got down there? You got the.
So we have some more. So Wolfpack's over here because the mock is over here. Their little tower.
Oh, I love it.
Love it.
I don't
Nice
think
colors.
I've seen that. Have you posted this?
It was probably about a year and a half ago. Not lately.
I really like this.
So
this might be one of my favorite things.
He's also got your favorite flag that I make too.
Dude, I know, man. Don't talk about it.
I got two of them ready to go up on the wall. So it's intended to go in the back of a mountain. So this will hook up to a mountain and they'll have a little cave system.
I see that. Wow. Yeah. And then you got the bridge out front that can connect to whatever river piece or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, you see the Technic pins ready to roll to go connect to something.
All set up right there.
Very nice.
Very cool. Viking Village represent.
Yep. This was made out of the 3-in-1, and then this I brought to Atlanta BrickCon last year.
Okay. Oh, they're shooting the.
Oh yeah, so they're inbound.
I was wondering something's coming in.
And when I made it, my wife was like, "Well, they're all gonna die." I was like, "Well, it is kind of like it's not a good looking scene." So I put the wizard in at the last minute to kind of be like, "Well, maybe he'll stop it." So, shooting
the ballista firing.
Yeah. And there's a whole lot of the orcs and.
That's cool. So that was you combined 3 of the 3-in-1 castle, 4 of them. How many?
No, probably 8 of them, but no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you design this?
Yeah.
Okay. No, 8.
I basically just used the front of the original and then just did my own thing the rest of the way. So there's a
cool.
Great hall in there, and there's actually
very nice.
I don't know what you guys can see because you're well above me at this point, but.
No, we're getting a good view for sure. Got all the falcons in there.
Yep, and there's the horde.
So every castle fan on the planet is envious of this man.
Yeah, we got this is where you want to be as a Lego Castle fan, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We've had a couple meetings here with our Peach Lug.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good walk around, Rich.
Thank you. Yep, that was fun.
You want to turn back around here so that we can close out?
I'm bringing it up now.
All right, cool, man. Absolutely phenomenal. Overall.
I mean, holy moly. Not much more to say. I mean, we covered that. That was so cool. It's
it's been a joy building this. It's it's I always describe it as my room of Zen. I come up here and I just enjoy building this fantasy land.
Yeah, I kind of have that same mentality. I'm actually moving around some stuff so I can work on my castle again here really soon.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question for you though. What does your wife think about all of this?
She scoffs and laughs. No, she's fine with it. I mean, she comes up here. She helps me part things out every so often.
That's cool.
I'm not out drinking and
Sure, yeah,
so.
That's fair.
There it is. That's the line, guys.
That's it.
I could be at a bar, but I'm at home.
Here's the other thing. You're not out spending money that's just gonna, you might as well burn it at a, let's say a concert, even though we do those things. But this stuff mostly appreciates. So
yeah,
it does. Maintains its value.
And that's kind of where I am with my wife. She knows that any Lego set that I buy or any parts that I buy, they're still gonna be worth money.
Yeah.
When I die.
Yeah. Well, and she has her own interest sort of in the Lego to an extent as well, I believe, right, Andrew?
Oh yeah. She has her favorite sets and she builds a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's always a good point. Yeah, people are like, well, we could be spending it on drugs and other alcohol, other things, and this and that. It's like, hey, we're not doing all that stuff. So
it's a pretty safe hobby, and the nieces and nephews, when they come over, they love it. So
I bet.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, that has been another episode of Let's Talk About Lego. This is going to be considered the AFOL edition. So when we talk to these builders like this that have these massive layouts, it's going to be the AFOL edition.
I like it.
A couple things. Pre-orders on wall signs from Brick Monarch Shop. That is going to end, I think it's like November 15th. So if you guys are wanting one for the holiday season, go ahead and place your order there. And join us next week for a Who Was He? Samuel von Baron. We're going to dig into the history of the Baron and the mansion and his connections.
There's a lot of dark secrets hidden in that mansion.
Yeah, if you look at my little screen for next week, it's cursed, murder, theft, all kinds of stuff going on.
Identity theft. That guy's crazy.
So that'll be a fun video. Rich, thank you so much for joining us and taking us for a walk around.
Thank you.
I will come down and I will see that in person. I'm going to give you another month to see what you can get done in another month.
Nice. Hopefully I got this Fright Nights Castle rolling.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say you've built the castle world that all of us in the chat and in this video dream of doing, and maybe some of us might accomplish at some point. But we really appreciate you sharing that with us today.
Cool. Absolutely, it was fun.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. I hope you guys liked doing the walkthrough on his amazing build. I'm hoping you can get it to a show someday.
Mm-hmm. At least parts of it.
That'd be cool. It outdoes a lot of the stuff that Lego puts out, and even in their displays. I mean, it's so massive. So keep up the good work and keep that wallet open, Rich. I guess those bricks flowing in, man.
For real.
Thanks so much for everyone joining us tonight. We really appreciate all the comments and all the insight and all the questions you were able to ask, and we got to answer. So that was a lot of fun as well. So thanks to the audience.
Yeah, thank you. Everybody have a good night, and we will see you back next Monday.
Take it easy, guys.